The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
It brings such joy. I mean, I've been broadcasting Knicks games more than half my life. And again, to sit next to one of the all-time greats and have this lifetime friendship with him, I get emotional thinking about it. And, you know, we've broadcast a lot of bad basketball for a long time. And again, it's to see the game played in the most beautiful way. For Clyde to say that this team reminds him of, he doesn't say that very often. For him to say that Jalen Brunson reminds him of the leadership of Willis, he doesn't say that about anybody. So that kind of joy, it's the way the game is supposed to be played. And there's such a high character bunch that you root for them because of the effort and the type of young men that they are. So, I mean, there's just such joy. I've been rooting for the Knicks since I was 7 years old. And to have a team like this is pretty darn special.
The golden voice of the NBA Finals and our New York Knicks, our dear friend Mike Breen. Breen was on this show just last week. He'll be back before the NBA Finals. We may find out tonight who the Knickerbockers will take on next, if in fact Oklahoma City can get themselves a road win in San Antonio. I don't think they will, but if they do, we know it'll be Knicks and Thunder. If not tonight, then we've got a Game 7 coming up from Oklahoma City on Saturday, and at that point, of course, we'll know who the Knicks are playing next. The great Mike Breen, Hall of Fame voice, so he go from one Hall of Famer to another. The afternoon host at WFAN, Carton and CMAC, Hall of Famer, my dear friend Craig Carton. And Craig, you know a lot about basketball, a lot about sports. You become the voice of New York sports on the Fan every day. Can you tell me some of the players on the 1993 New York Knicks championship team?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, Michael Jordan, Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen. I mean, what a dope. The craziest thing about it is that, you know, the Knicks that year won 60 games with Pat Riley, went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and, of course, got eliminated by the juggernaut that was the Michael Jordan Bulls. But I always love it when politicians try to act like they're cool and, you know, are sports fans and try to take advantage of a city, whether it's New York or any other city, try to take advantage of the interest in a team trying to make a championship run. And I can't wait for the next thing to happen, which is going to be when Kathy Hochul reaches out to the governor of Texas or the governor of Oklahoma and says, I'll put up a slice of pizza and some Junior's cheesecake for a rack of ribs. Like, shut up.
I hate it, too. And, look, you know how much I hate Hochul, Craig. You listen to this show every day, and I hate Mamdani, too. And I don't buy that either one of them loves his team. Mamdani was in the rafters with Jumaane Williams a couple nights ago, and he may know these guys, but like I talked about for days, I tweeted this days ago, even before Kathy Hochul made that moronic comment yesterday exposing herself as the liar and the fraud that she is about her Knick fandom. I tweeted days ago that Mamdani and Hochul, they know nothing about this organization, nothing about the history, nothing about the real hard times, which unfortunately, Craig Carton, you and I know very, very well.
Yeah, look, you and I grew up with Rory Sparrow and Trent Tucker and Truck Robinson, and Bernard King was our hero as a Knicks fan, you know, with the tape on his fingers and dropping 50 points against the Pistons in a Game 7, you know, to win a series for the first time in God knows how long. But I think both of them, the mayor and the governor, are what we like to call tryhards. They're trying so hard, to be cool and hip and in the know that it comes across as so, transparent and pathetic. But I got to say something to you, because I love you.
Uh-oh.
But are you trying to steal a ticket from a Garden of Dreams charity kid?
Well, I mean, steal a ticket. Well, yes, I am, Craig. Yes. I am. They're giving out like 100 tickets. If you make 99 kids happy and Sid Rosenberg happy, I think you've done a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I am.
Yeah.
I want to sit right next to President Trump rather than one of these horrible liberals, Ben Stiller, or even Tracy, certainly Spike Lee. You got to have Sid sit next to Trump on the garden floor. That would make the most sense. I got to give you credit, Craigie, because I was on the shuttle after getting off the ferry in Rockaway last week and listening to your show, which you're great. You really are great. And you're going on and on about how the Knicks are going to sweep them. C-Mac, he actually pushed back a little bit. So did I. I texted you. I said, I love your enthusiasm, but you're nuts. And when the Knicks are down by 22 in the fourth quarter, game one against Cleveland, I'm about to text you and go, Craigie, doesn't look so good. They come back and win, and you nailed it. I heard your piece yesterday that Knick fans and people in the city thought, hey, Atlanta had a shot against them, Philly and Cleveland. You said nobody thought the Knicks were going to win. I'm not sure that's 100% true, but to your credit, you had the Knicks sweeping Cleveland, blowing them out the building, and you were exactly right.
Yeah, it's I think part of that's me being a Knicks fan for sure, and I got lucky because that game one comeback, you can't predict that, obviously. But what's interesting is how many people disrespect, the Knicks, whether that's a dislike or hatred for New York, and it just kind of oozes into, sports conversations. But something happened after Game 3 against the Atlanta Hawks, and I can't wait to find out what that is well after the Canyon of Heroes parade, where a light bulb went off, and they've just been the most dominant basketball team, arguably, that we've ever seen in the postseason. And that means the Jordan Bulls, the Showtime Lakers, the Kobe Shaq Lakers, the Steph Curry Warriors. We have never witnessed this type of domination over the course of a full month of basketball or 11 consecutive games like we've seen from the Knicks. And as much as I may have gotten it right, I couldn't have predicted this because we've never seen it historically. It's the greatest 11-game run in basketball history. Like, even when Dr. James Naismith invented the peach basket and the basketball, nobody dominated basketball the way this Knicks team has.
No, you're right. I've never seen it either, and if God is good to me, I'll be 60 in April. I've watched a lot of Knick basketball, a lot of basketball overall. No, I don't remember the Bill Russell days when they were winning championships every year, but even they didn't win these games by 30 points. Larry Bird's Celtic teams didn't win their games by 30 points, especially when you consider the Knicks have won all three closeout games on the road by 30 points. It's been pretty remarkable. Now,
not just that. Consider this: Jalen Brunson hasn't played in the fourth quarter of a closeout game yet.
Right? No, he has not even played their best player because they've been up by so many points. Now, you did say
when you used to dominate the outdoor courts in Meisner Park.
Yes, I did. Not only Meisner Park, come on now, Marine Park in Brooklyn. And I can tell you, Terrence Mullen was out there. He saw this. Not Chris, but Terrence saw it. Now, you did say on this show a couple of days ago, because I have the opportunity to speak to you. And again, I think you're the best in sports talk radio in the country today. And my friend Joe Beningo, who I think is a legitimate legend and should be in the Hall of Fame one day. And he said to me, even before the Cleveland series, that this is championship or bust. I don't want to hear we're back in the NBA Finals. Now, you disagreed with that last week. You said, wait. If we get to the finals, that's pretty damn good. But the way the Knicks have played, what you just talked about, the way they've blown out the competition, whether it's Oklahoma City or San Antonio, do you still feel that way? Or do you think the Knicks right now are destined to win the whole thing?
Yeah, well, look, I thought you had to get to the NBA Finals, or I think thered be some pushback on how successful the year was. But for a franchise that hasn't won a championship since 1973, How can any of us?
No. Clearly, you haven't done your homework. They won in 1993, the governor.
That's right. Ever since that great 93 team that decided not to have a parade because it was so awesome. How can any of us say that any Knicks team is championship or bust? But that being said, when you dominate the way they've dominated, I think it changes the narrative, and I think this team now is a championship or bust team, but I did not feel that way a month and a half ago. I thought it was, you got to get there or bust,
That's fair.
And then you roll the dice.
I think that's fair. So then, and again, this is the Hall of Fame voice, WFAN's Craig Carton. Also does a tremendous podcast every morning over there at Fox Sports. Now, Oklahoma City is probably going to win this series and may not win tonight, but I can't see the Thunder losing a Game 7 at home. And in all fairness to the Knicks and the way they played, Oklahoma City, they are the reigning NBA champs. The Knicks never beat them, unlike San Antonio. The Knicks never beat them during the regular season. The Knicks do not match up well against them. And last I checked, they've only lost about 2 games, like the Knicks, in these entire playoffs. They're going to be the underdog, the Knicks. So is it fair? Is it fair to just assume that the Knicks are going to win the whole thing?
No, because the Oklahoma City Thunder have been the best team all year. They're the defending champions. They've got the MVP. And they're kind of like the NBA's version right now of the Kansas City Chiefs in that they get all the calls. You know, their best player, SGA, who's the back-to-back MVP award winner, also lives at the free throw line, and he learned from LeBron James how to be the greatest flopper right now in the NBA. And it's very frustrating watching a great player spend half the time. He's like a Hunts Point hooker. He's on his back, on the floor, like more than he's standing up. Yeah.
That is a great line, like a Hunts Point hooker.
Yeah. Remember that HBO special, Hookers on
I
Point?
watched it. I watched that one lady with the black hair. I watched her every week. I felt so badly for her. You know, old fat guys pulling up in their car and banging this poor lady at 3 o'clock in the morning.
The worst thing about that is when you and I watched that together and we were both like, is that Susie?
Oh, that was a great show. That is a great reference for folks taking like a Hunts Point hooker laying there on the court. You're right. I mean, I always thought Vlade Divac was the best at that, even better than LeBron and this guy in Oklahoma City. But they do get all the calls, and they are the reigning NBA champs. So with all that said, we've broken this down, I think, as well as you possibly can. Regardless, whether it's San Antonio or Oklahoma City, the Knicks will be the underdog. But do you feel in your heart of hearts that the Knicks, Craig Carton, will end this 53-year drought?
Yeah, I think they've got that like thing that we talk about in sports, like the mojo right now. You know, obviously I'm concerned about 9 days off because that's the worst game they played thus far. After the 9 days off, the game 1, you know, and the comeback that you alluded to already. But I just think they're on this like magic ride right now. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. But if you told me that the New York Knicks win the NBA championship at Madison Square Garden in Game 6, I think that's on the table, and that's probably what I'm going to pick to happen.
Knicks in 6, and that day, we were told earlier by Noam, good job out of Noam, that's the same day where France is set to play Senegal in World Cup soccer right here in New Jersey.
Is it Game 6 or Game 4? Is it for that?
Game 6.
The World Cup.
Game 6. So the same day you're going to have all those people going to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey and all those people coming to Madison Square Garden in New York City. May not be a bad week, Craig, to go to Boca.
Well, I mean, it's always a good week to go to Boca for sure. But, you know, don't forget, you know, what Noam's alluding to, I think, is the fact that you can't use Penn Station without a World Cup ticket.
That's correct.
So what are they going to do for everybody that comes in from New Jersey, let's say, to go to Madison Square Garden for Game 6?
What they're going to do is they're going to call Eddie Scazzeri, who's now driving an Uber car. He'll take it to the game, my boy Eddie. You know, I had the opportunity on Friday, Craig, to go up to the Hudson Valley, Rockland County. I'm dear friends with the King of Salt, the tremendous Congressman Mike Lawler. And you know, you saw the pictures, heard me talking about it. President Trump called me up on stage. It was all pretty cool. But the day actually started with the amazing second-year quarterback of my New York football Giants, Jackson Dart, introducing President Trump to the 6,000 people inside Rockland County Community College, and it was beautiful. And it didn't take long for douchebags all over the country, including his own teammate, this jerk-off Abdul Carter, who's yet to make one good play for the Giants, who voted for Kamala Harris, okay, for him to get all over his own quarterback. I know you talked about it with C-Mac as well, but I was furious on Saturday morning. If you're Abdul Carter, shut your mouth. He's on your team. He's allowed to vote and like whoever he wants to vote and like. Why would Abdul Carter do something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a generational thing. These kids all grow up living on social media. They can't help themselves. And I think that every thought they had is the greatest thought of all time, so they have to share it with everybody. You know, the Jackson Dart thing is interesting. I don't care who the president is. If a sitting president, the leader of the free world, gives you an opportunity to be on the stage with him and introduce him, I think the answer should always be yes. Now, that being said, if you can separate that from the fact that Jackson Dart played 10 games last year for the Giants, but man, is he living the life of a major New York celebrity. There does come a point where he's got to shut everything down and now concentrate on football. But the fact that so many people, all these cuckolded, woke, D-bags, have a problem with a 22-year-old kid walking on stage and merely saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States." And I thought it was interesting that those same people that found that to be objectionable or problematic have not said a word about Josh Jacobs allegedly strangling his girlfriend.
That's a good point. Green Bay Packer, former Raider running back Josh Jacobs in all kinds of trouble. Yeah, a lot worse.
Compare it, and I'm not saying, obviously you can't compare the two things, obviously. But it's like, we pick and choose when to become the moral compass of the sports world. But when you have a guy that allegedly strangled and choked out his girlfriend and is looking at multiple felony counts, where's all the outrage about that?
You're right.
And this kid, a nice all-American kid, walks on stage and merely says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the free world." Oh, my God. How are the Giants ever going to win a game, 6 months from now because of that? It's asinine.
And his head coach, John Harbaugh, I think people should know this if they don't, President Trump actually lobbied hard to the Maras to hire John Harbaugh, who's now the coach of the Giants.
John Harbaugh joined his brother Jim at the White House 8 months ago.
That's right. And I like what Jason Whitlock said yesterday. He said, LT's a black guy. He spoke at a Trump rally. Nobody said a word. Le'Veon Bell likes Trump. Nobody says a word. He mentioned about 5 or 6 black people that love President Trump, and Abdul Carter never said a word. But take the white quarterback. And he made it racial, but he's right. I know you're not going to go there, but I am. Jason Whitlock's a black guy. He said all these black guys who spoke at Trump rallies, and including LT, not a word. Take the white quarterback, it becomes an issue. Finally.
Yeah, because it's lazy. It's just a lazy narrative. It's like, it's easy. I'm going to take, the good-looking, in this case, white quarterback, and I'm going to use it to further my own personal agenda, when the reality is that, do you honestly think the 53 brain-dead football players in that locker room give a rat's ass that Jackson Dart introduced the president? Like, come on.
Well, I can't
stand. All of a sudden interested in geopolitical theater. Shut up.
Yeah, I can't stand Abdul Carter now, so I won't root for him. Finally, Craig, have you received your 3 dozen roses yet?
My 3 dozen roses. Yeah. No, but I'd like to.
Well, you should get them. Maybe even more than that, because as much as I like this guy, and I like him a lot, okay? I do. I think he's a really nice person. I do. He's a great father. He's a solid radio guy. He's not all that compelling, I'm sorry, but he's solid. He's there every day, and he knows his stuff. He was a good TV guy as well, and I think he's a really great New Yorker. But there's no way in a million years that Boomer Esiason even sniffs the Hall of Fame without you carrying his 65-year-old ass over that finish line every morning. So he better have you standing right next to him next year in Chicago, because congratulations to Boomer, but everybody knows without Craig, this never happens. Congratulations, Craig Carton.
Yeah, I feel like a small little piece of me got into the National Hall of Fame. Here's what's interesting. So I think the event is early October in Chicago, right? Yep. Now, he's got to take the guys that work on his show now. The question then becomes, do I get an invite?
What?
Clearly, I deserve an invite.
Yes.
But
listen, Craig. He's not in the Hall of Fame because of Gio. Okay. Let's be honest. He's in the Hall of Fame because of you. So, are you gonna get an invite? That would be like Christopher Mad Dog Russo not inviting Mike Francesa when he got in a couple years ago.
My gut is that I do not get an invite to that event.
What?
That is my gut in the moment, that I do not get an invite to that event, that he keeps it to, I imagine Joe Hollander will probably introduce him because he's more responsible for Boomer getting into radio and doing Monday Night Football all those years ago, and that makes sense to me. Our dear friend Chris Oliveira will certainly go to that. I would be shocked if my phone rings with an offer to join them in Chicago.
Wow. I'd be shocked if it was the other way around. Now, people are under the impression, Craig, and you can fix it quickly here, that after your incident, and okay, you paid the price and you've come back bigger and stronger than ever. I love you for that. But that, obviously Boomer was mad at the time. We get all that. But you guys have kind of repaired that relationship. Not that you're great buddies, not that you're hanging out together every night. Certainly the relationship took a hit. It took a hit, but I think most people think you guys are okay. If Boomer doesn't invite you, then you're not okay. That's the bottom line. You're not.
Well, we're okay for sure now. We're good. Like, we've texted each other. I congratulated him. We had some nice words privately with each other about him getting in. But I think it's a fair comment. If I don't get invited, he's dead to me. I'm kidding, but look, him getting in is not about me as much as I played a role in it. But we'll see. It'll be very telling if I get the invitation or not. But I have a quick question for you. Let's say President Trump goes to Game 3 or 4 at Madison Square Garden.
No.
What's the ovation? Standing ovation? Does he get booed? What's the reaction to it?
Well, he'll get booed. I mean, don't forget, Ben Stiller will be in the building and some of these other liberal douchebags, Spike Lee. But I think overall, I do think that the majority of the folks, even some liberals at the Garden, will give him applause, even a standing ovation. So he'll get a smattering of boos, Craig Carton. He will. But I think overall, unlike Kathy Hochul at the Ranger game, I think President Trump will receive a warm welcome from the great folks here in New York City.
Now, you know what I want him to do? I think this should be great and great theater, and no other president would have the balls to do it. You know when they bring out those trampolines and the kids go out there to do the acrobatic dunks at halftime?
Yeah.
I want President Trump to jump on that trampoline and dunk a basketball. And then hang on the rim.
Oh, God. But he has to do it. That's a great idea. But he can't be wearing his blue suit and red tie. He's got to be wearing like a tight, I don't know, Sly Williams jersey and a pair of tight knit shorts and a nice red, the blue and orange bandana. If Trump comes out doing that, how hot will that be?
It'd be great. Or just go out there and nonchalantly knock down a three-point shot and then go back and sit down.
Listen, I wouldn't put it past him, and you can probably make the shot as well. I know you can, Craig, and you hit a three-pointer every time you're on this show, and WFAN as well. It kept me on for 25 minutes. You were so damn good again this morning. Hall of Fame voice of WFAN afternoons, and he'll be the next guy, trust me, to make the Hall of Fame. He's already in the New York Hall of Fame, but he'll be the next WFAN host to make it nationally, and I'm proud to call him a friend, my dear buddy Craig Carton. Craig, great job this morning. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for taking that break 20 minutes early at 6:30. I know you like talking about yourself all the way to 7 usually, so I appreciate that. If I told you what I was doing right now, you'd be shocked. So I'm sitting in Edison, New Jersey right now in a parking lot outside of a place called Elite Billiards Hall, and I'm filming a pilot right now for a show about responsible gambling, and they decided to have me play pool at 7 o'clock in the morning with a fellow gambler in recovery, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, God, I know it does seem like an odd venue. I'll get it, but you're doing a good thing, and you do inspire many of us who have struggled with this our whole lives. You're doing a great job with that too. Not enough press about that. I can't expect Phil Mushnick to write anything nice. I can tell you that. But you're doing a great job with that, Craig Carton. We love you. Thank you so much, pal. Have a great morning.
Talk to you. Be good.
Take care. That's a great job right there. Craig Carton, of course, the Hall of Fame voice afternoons, along with C-Mac on the Fan and Boomer Esiason. I like Boomer. Good guy. Very nice guy, talented guy, no question about it. But nobody in this business, nobody is going to tell me that Boomer Esiason is more entertaining or more compelling or a better talk show radio host than I am. But, he's safe. He talks football. He talks sports. Nice guy, right? And me, if I hear this word one more time, no, I'm going to punch you across the face.
Watch out, no.
Which word is that?
Polarizing. Sid's great, but he's polarizing. No. I'm compelling.
Very good.
Just use that word. Nice. Forget about polarizing.
Well, let me try it out.
I'm compelling.
Because you're polarizing.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?